Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Um, yeah, action research might be defined differently. But let me share with you. I think you all know that action research for the term action research itself was first used by Professor Kurt Lewin in 1944. It's long times ago that the first term of the action research was first used. And the bottom line of action research in that time is he focused on the circle of inquiries. And circle of inquiry, circle of action. That is the bottom line of the action research by Professor Lewin in 1944. And later on, we can see action research was another researcher tried to define the term action research in the scope. That in 1994, they tried to define the term by Emily in 1994 tried to call the term action research. In fact, he tried to put some motivation inside of His Excellency, the Director of PTech mentions that when we talk about action research, we talk like people escape like anxiety, the first one, the presentation mentions as well. And so he called action research as a fancy way of doing or improving their own instruction. And later on, they tried to call the word action research as by Brown in 2002 that it is a design investigation. They call it a design investigation by the teachers. And the next one, they call it as a action research as a natural teaching. This is very interesting that whenever we talk about action research, they call it in 2004, I don't exactly remember who said that, but they call it a natural teaching, a natural ways of teaching. So whenever you talk about action research, you talk about teaching. So when you want to improve your teaching, your instruction, you have to conduct action research. So that based on this four definition, to me, I try to define it to make it simple and easy way to understand, and also to keep myself on the point when I'm conducting action research in my school or in my classroom. When we talk about action research, to me, mean the research about our action. So let me say it again. Action research means the research about our action. But we need a systematic way of doing that. Yeah. So the meaning of action research is in that way. We focus on our own action, our college's action. It depends on how big or the purpose of the action research that you want to conduct it. If you just only want to improve your instructional practice, you can do it individually. But if you want the purpose just to change something or in your institution, you might need to conduct collaborative action research. Like you are teaching in class A with a teacher in class B, with a teacher in class C with the same topic, and then you can propose something to make some change in your institution. But if you have a perspective to change, to propose a change of the policy of the curriculum, you might need to collaborate like institutional collaborative based or the district based. For example, if you want to make something change or you propose a policy, you might need to collaborate between BTech and PTech, and then you will propose something. So it depends on what you really want to do. So again, action research, it talks more about improving. I would not say your personal teaching improvement, something, but it can be institution, it can be curriculum, it can be proposed change in the policies as well. Action research is that big. While people try to say that action research, it's really small, people can do it. Of course, we can do it. But we also can make the policy change based on the result of our action research. It depends on the scope itself. I forget your second question.
The second question is we want to know whether what do you think that we can ensure the teacher educator to be capable enough to supervise the teacher student?
Okay, thank you. I think this question might be good for Dr. Sensei. because he's the one who implemented it. But from the researcher side, I would say in order to supervise it, I think Dr. Sensei had already mentioned that one of the challenges is the capacity of the trainer or the supervisor itself. So I will not talk about that again, but to me, I would say two things. One, supervisor should have a capability or ability to diagnose the students' researcher skills. They should be able to exactly understand where their supervisory research capability or research skill is. But I think the first one have to diagnose the researcher, the supervisory research skill. So when they can diagnose it, they exactly know where to start and how to support. So, and second one is to be able to supervise. I would say, yeah, based on my own practice in supervising students, one of the challenges is the planning, action plan. I think some people are very good at talking, but they are not really good at taking in action. So writing down the plan and push them to follow the plan, it might be a good thing. Because if you fail the action research, as Dr. Sensei said, you have to repeat. So when you repeat, a lot of investment from the government, I think the policymaker might think about that as well. Like, a lot of investment just going to that. But you cannot just repeat and then get scholarship. It might be, it not really makes sense, right? So supervisor should write down the plan and keep pushing them. Like Richard John, the author of the book, 8 Traits of Successful Person in Common. One of the 8 is pushing. I think supervisors should play that role effectively. Keep pushing, keep pinning them on the date. It might be a good thing. And another one, I said 2, but then one thing is coming to mind. And another thing is like, I think feedback. Group feedback might be good. I think sometimes we supervisor, we think too much, and some think too deep. That sometimes when you say something, your supervisor look at you and say, what you are talking about? I don't really understand. Sometimes they do not really understand because we, supervisor, think too deep, right? So form a group, giving feedback. The supervisor, they speak their own language. They speak the same language. So it might be very easy for them to understand with the positive reinforcement from the supervisor. So let me make it short. One is be able to diagnose their research, their supervisory research skill. Second one, planning and pinning, pushing. And third one is to provide positive reinforcement by peer feedback rather than you alone giving feedback. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.